Alright guys, so today what I'm going to be doing is some oil mods on this D16 single cam build. And by oil mods I mean just little mods you can do to increase oil circulation, I guess, oil flow throughout the engine, and hopefully get your engine to last longer and be more reliable. Hopefully, that is the idea anyway. But I think the most important thing you can do, probably, is open up this port in the oil pump. This is what actually feeds the block. It'll spin, it'll pick up oil from the pickup tube, spin it, spit it out through this tube here, and then come out of this port. But what's really weird is that this port does not match up to the diameter of the port in the block. The port in the block is pretty big, and this port coming out of the pump is really small. Basically, we need to open up it to the size of the material on the outside of this little lip here. You need to open up this hole to this lip. And to do that, all I'm going to do is use a Dremel. So yeah, I'm just going to use my Dremel with some little grinding bits, and I'm just going to basically work that material and try and get the opening port matched to the hole in the block. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work on that now. Maybe I can do a little time lapse, we'll see. Alright, next up I'm going to be using the stone. Those little grinding bits, they take too long. I'm going to see if this one goes any quicker. Alright, I was able to punch all the way through with that grinding stone. There's a lot of meat behind the opening here. I think what I'm going to do is get one of these grinding bits and kind of go in and angle it better, like the back corner here. Get this back corner and maybe this upper corner here. Kind of just imagine you're trying to smooth the transition. Yeah, I feel a little bit of a lip right here. It's pretty sharp, so I'm just going to get this bit and round it off right here so the oil has a smooth transition into the block. It's a lot of material, man. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take it apart and clean it up. A couple more things you could do to get better oiling out of your stock pump is you can remove this plate and port the opening. There's an opening right here that feeds this tube. You can go ahead and widen that opening, and also you can shim this bypass valve. If you put a washer in there, you can actually increase the PSI, but you can access this while it's in the car. You just have to drop the oil pan and you can shim this later down the road. With this port matched to the port on the block, I think that's going to be the biggest benefit I could have done. So just pretty much out of curiosity, I decided to pop the back plate off, mainly because I wanted to make sure that I cleaned out all the material that I grinded off. There wasn't any like metal floating around in there that I couldn't clean out. But this is what it looks like behind the plate. This is how an oil pump works, if you didn't know. Basically, it sucks up the oil here, it compresses it, and then it comes back around, and it opens back up, it'll spit it out here. And there's a little channel here that on the output, where the oil flows out, this is where it gets pushed out into the motor. And I was kind of looking at it and thinking of what I could do here to improve the oil flow here. And what I'm thinking is I could probably bring this edge here, I can bring this down grind it this way because it's pushing oil from this wall. All this is going out, so it's hitting this little wall here, right here. The oil is hitting all this, and that's kind of getting in the way. It might be a little bit of a choke point, not much, but I'm just gonna widen this and basically make it a really long oval, and maybe that'll help a little bit, but I'm sure it can't hurt. Alright, so I don't know if you can really tell, but now there's not so much as just a little wall right here. I just basically elongated this opening so that it can have more of a path this way rather than this little corner just being cut off. It was like a 1/4 inch poking out here that was kind of choking it just a little bit, but not much. Yeah, I need to get this in the parts cleaner. I know the crankshaft is here, so don't forget about that. I'm going to wash everything really good. Here at work we have a parts cleaner, and I'm just gonna wash the shit out of everything. So that's the plan. One more thing. You see that little ridge? I just noticed that. There's a little ridge right here that extends to about here. It's really small. It actually pokes out a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and grind that flush with the bump. I'm just going to completely get rid of that ridge. That's what I'm talking about right here. I'm just going to get rid of that. I'm sure that'll help. Alright, that ridge is completely gone. Need to clean it up, but I think that's just about it for that. I don't want to overdo it. So we got the port match hole here that's port matched to the block. Opened up the I don't know what you would call that. It's like the oil discharge. I don't know. One more thing I could do, but I probably can't find the right thing to do it, is you can also port this opening here. You just got to get a big drill bit that's stepped up just a little bit bigger than what the hole is, and just basically drill all the way through and open this up. I'm gonna do one last little like oil mod, I guess, and this is called a chamfer, and basically it's just a little notch on either side of the oil passage here on the rod journals. You can also do the main journals, but I think I'm just gonna do the rod journals because that's where the issues seem to pop up, is the rod journals. But basically you just slightly notch either side of the passageway here. There is like a science behind this, and honestly I'm not entirely sure the exact like proper way to do this. You're supposed to like elongate the side in the direction of that it spins or some shit like that, but I'm basically just barely notching one notch there, one notch there. And I guess the reason why that helps is because you just have like this circle of oil coming out, pushing onto the to the rod bearing. But when you notch it like that, it kind of turns into that a little bit, and it's just kind of like more surface area of the oil lubricating the bearings. I think that's all you're trying to do. And you elongate it like that, of course, because it's spinning, and the oil will get slung out of the chambers. So this is my last one to do. Let me show you what I'm doing. Uh-oh, battery died. Like, that's just about done. I'm gonna go and work on the bottom now. Right there. That's it right there. That is a very small amount I did. I'm gonna try and get closer. Just a very, very little bit. I think what I need to do is actually polish it now, just to make sure there's no like burrs or like sharp points that can mess up the bearing. I mean, it feels fine, but better safe than sorry, I guess. Alright guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video, but if you want to stick around for more single cam content, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned, because I'm gonna be working on this with all this extra free time. Thanks to Corona, I guess, you know, one good thing came out of it is having a bunch of free time, but not having a lot of work to do, so that's good and really bad. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Later.